You are watching Radicon.
Thumb metacarpophalangeal joint ulnar collateral ligament is an important ligament for the stability of this metacarpophalangeal joint. So it's a thick black low signal intensity structure between the metacarpal head and proximal phalanx. And there's the adductor aponeurosis overlying it. So aponeurosis is a fairly thin band of tissue. With disruption or injury of the UCL in gamekeepers or skiers thumb due to the mechanism of injury, you can get either partial thickness tear like here of the UCL, or you may get associated avulsion fractures where the UCL attaches onto the metacarpal or proximal phalanx. One of the complications is a sternal lesion where the torn UCL displaces superficial to the adductor aponeurosis, and that prevents spontaneous healing, and it almost always requires surgical fixation to prevent further joint instability. So in the image you can see this rounded nodular or globular structure is the torn UCL, which has retracted proximally at the level of metacarpal head, and then where the UCL should be, that area is occupied by the adductor aponeurosis. So there is no way this ligament is going to heal by itself onto its normal anatomical location. So surgeon has to go in and fix it surgically for long-term stability of this joint. Inflammatory arthrosis or arthropathy or rheumatoid arthritis, obviously because of disease-modifying drugs, we are scanning more and more such patients. Whenever you scan such patients, you may see synovial fluid, synovial hypertrophy as indicated by arrowheads and arrows on these images with osteitis or marrow edema. So patient may just present with painful lumpiness or painful mass on the wrist, and when you scan them, you get this horrible or diffuse marrow edema with lot of fluid and synovial hypertrophy. So you must consider inflammatory arthrosis in such patients. It may well be the first presentation of the patient. Also, you can see on this image there is fair bit of distension of the distal radioulnar joint capsule with synovial thickening, cystic changes in the distal ulna, the ulnar styloid process has perhaps eroded. So all in all, it's quite suggestive of an inflammatory arthropathy. So as I was talking about earlier, not all messes are pathological. Sometimes you get accessory muscles around the wrist like anywhere else in the body. So at the level of the pisiform, you may see an excessive muscle belly close to the Guyon's canal, and that might be can give symptoms of ulnar nerve compression or neuropathy, but the signal characteristics are almost same to the adjacent skeletal muscles. So then you can be confident that this is a well-known entity, although rare, but you may come across in your career as an accessory abductor digiti minimi muscle. Another accessory muscle around the wrist is extensor digitorum brevis manus. So this is one of my patients where an orthopedic surgeon refers to me as mass at the dorsum of the wrist query ganglion query cause. So we scan the patient. Yes, there is a mass, but the signal intensity is same as any other skeletal muscle in this image, and it tends to and runs along the ulnar side of the extensor tendon to the index finger at the level of the wrist. So since the diagnosis of accessory muscle of extensor digitorum brevis manus was made, potentially avoiding unnecessary surgery and undue stress to the patient. So please think about these normal accessory muscles or tendons around any joint in the body. Thank you so much for your attention.
This video is presented in collaboration with Radicon Institute of Radiology. You are welcome to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell for updates. For more modules in radiology CMEs, please visit our website www.radicon.org.